if you thought that the Minister of Health was passionate, it's because sometimes people do not believe that we are human. They believe that politicians, particularly those in government, come from a different place, and people have a license to say whatever they want about them. People have a license to misinform. People have a license to say exactly what you did not say. And doing that put you in a light where other people believe, other people who are not seized with the facts, believe, and the rest is history. I want to say one thing about the health and security levy. The health and security levy, at its best in March 2025, because a fiscal year, and I want to explain what a fiscal year is not January to December. That's a calendar year. A fiscal year is April to March. So when we speak about the year of infrastructure, the year of infrastructure will end at the end of March and not at the end of December, just for the record. The fiscal year, at the end, projected for the end of March, the health and security levy will bring to this country between $34 and $36 million. The health and security levy. The expenses on the Ministry of Health, without the addition of the nearly $40 million which we are going to inject by the end of this year to pay outstanding bills. I see the financial analyst looking at me. I am the Minister of Finance. The $40 million we are going to inject in the health sector to pay outstanding bills. Some of it, $2.2 million owed to hospitals in Martinique from the year 2001. We are going to be paying it before the month is ended. Some of these bills for local suppliers, people who give dialysis treatment, people who help in the services from COVID. From COVID, they have been owed. We're going to be paying them. Plus the fact that we have allocated $191 million for the Ministry of Health. So when you add the $40 million to that, if my arithmetic is right, you'll get 231, and you add the $15 million that we just gave to the OKAU, you'll see that we spent $246 million on health services in St. Lucia directly for the fiscal year. And what did we collect? We will collect $34 million on the health and security levy. So when you hear the stories about taxation and the health and security levy, these are the facts on the health and security levy. But I want to take the opportunity to thank the Cuban government and the people of Cuba for what they've done for the health services in this country. You could imagine what the health sector would look without the Cuban doctors and the Cuban medical personnel who were trained in Cuba and who are working in St. Lucia. I really want us, now the people of Cuba are going through a very, very hard time, I want us to stand and pay tribute to the government and people of Cuba. Thank you very much. Because it's testimony to the brotherhood, to the resilience, and to the strength of the Cuban people, who are suffering not because of anything they did wrong, but because of their strength and their fortitude and their desire to conduct their own path and to lead their country in the way they see it fit. They are suffering. And once more, the government of St. Lucia calls upon the embargo on the people of Cuba to be removed because it's unfair and it's unjust. Thousands of people have benefited from the Cuban support to the medical services. I remember I was in the government when hundreds of people went to Cuba for eye treatment. And when they came back in 2006, we lost the elections. So the rumor was they could see to vote against us. But these are the vagaries of politics, and that is how life works. But we were never bitter. Never bitter. We accepted our role in opposition. We accepted it. The bitterness was not there. We accepted it. And we worked till the people of St. Lucia changed their minds. And I hope they don't change it again. We know that in the health services, there can never be a perfect health system. I was reading just last week complaints about the system, the health was happening in Barbados. That doesn't give me any comfort. It doesn't give me any comfort to say because the health services are not what they should be anywhere in the world, that solution must be the same. But we have to deal with reality. We have to deal with the facts. We have to deal with the reality of the situation. And there are many good things happening in the health services of St. Lucia. And I want to thank the doctors and the nurses and everyone who are in that sector. And too many times we only spread the bad news. One or two people, not supposed to happen. I don't want to be misquoted. Please don't misquote me. In this business, you misquoted and they say what you say. But one or two people, a few people may have gone to the hospital and probably they didn't get the medication. Probably something might have gone wrong. If that happens, I accept and I apologize. But look at the good things that are happening in the health services of St. Lucia. And I want to refer to a press release from the Millennium Heights Medical Complex, where it said that there was a successful pediatric procedure at the complex supported by a St. Lucian, Dr. Sidney, a neurosurgeon who performed almost a miracle on a young St. Lucian. Doctors from St. Lucia, doctors from the OKAU, with a St. Lucian specialist, with the help of the government, performed almost a miracle on a young St. Lucian person. Almost a miracle. I want to congratulate Dr. Sidney and all the people who took part in that operation. These are some of the good things that happened at the Millennium Heights, at the OKU hospital. These are some of the good things that happened there. But things do go wrong, and we haven't got to take credit when things go wrong, but things will go wrong. But I want to tell you, and I heard the Minister of Health say that, my research tells me that the main issue in the services are the emergency services. That is where the main issue is. Because people go there, even though they're not supposed to, they go. People go there for all kinds of things. Plus the accidents and the shootings and the stabbings. And that is why crime now has become a public health issue with the shootings and the stabbings, etc. And we have not calculated. And I think the board, the management of the OK EU hospital should calculate what it costs the government to deal with a stab wound or to deal with a shooting. You'll be surprised to know how much it costs the government, how much it costs the health services to deal with a stabbing or a shooting. But good things up. So what have we decided to do? And the Minister of Health said it, and I confirm it. I can confirm that we are going to expand the emergency services available to the people of St. Lucia. And this building across there, that was the emergency ward. And I remember in 1997, when we brought a solution to work in emergency services, the Minister of Health at the time was instructed by the then Prime Minister to ensure that services, that the emergency services were improved. And work, we started there, and it deteriorated. But right now, we are going to resume emergency services there, and I can tell you as a fact that the building has been gutted, the plans are being drawn, and all things being equal, we are going to have emergency services in that building by June next year. All things being equal. That means supply chain, everything is equal, we're going to have services there. The Grosley Polyclinic, soon the Dr. Martin Didier Polyclinic. Today, the tenders for the expansion of the Polyclinic supposed to be in. They're going to be evaluated, and an award should be made in 7 days' time. And I can tell you again, as a fact, that work is going to start, and if the contractor doesn't want to take holidays for Christmas, he could possibly start in the last week of December or early January, so that we can have services at, extended services at the Dr. Martin Didier Polyclinic, so we can relieve some of the pressure that's on the OKU hospital. Health services in the country are improving. And I say it without any fear or favor. And when people believe that when they attack the services, they attack the Prime Minister or they attack the Minister of Health, or attack the government, they are attacking the hard-working men and women who take time away from their families to be in the hospitals and in the health centers. The nurses, the nursing aides, they are the one they attack, not me. So we must pay tribute to these people, pay tribute to them, who under trying circumstances, they work hard, and it's a labor of love for the people of St. Lucia. And I want to tell you, I salute you, and the government will do whatever they can to improve the conditions and to improve the services in St. Lucia. We have made no changes. We have not, when people talk about victimization and these kinds of things, we have the CMO, I met her, and I'll probably leave her. Because my job is a temporary job. It's a temporary job. The people in 2026 will decide my fate. That's what happens. And that's reality of the world I live in. In 2026, the people may decide my fate. If they decide it, the way they decide, I'll accept it. So the CMO, the CMO has worked. We appreciate what she does. Permanent secretary, all the officials in the Ministry of Health. The government has not moved one finger to touch anybody. Not one. But what happened to the transition team that was created to transition from Victoria Hospital to the OKU. What happened to that team? I leave you to do that homework and that research for yourself. I don't want to say I say. So, my sister, I know some people believe that we get passionate and they use the normal word, the inverted comma word, that's politics. It's not politics, it's reality. It's life. We live in an environment that every day is infested with lies and misinformation. Every day. It's our job to say what is true and ask people to fact check us. To fact check us. So I want you, if in 2 or 3 months you don't see work starting on this building, I want you to fact check me. Yeah. And that is what. And if in 2 or 3 months you don't see work happening at the grocery Polyclinic, I want you to fact check me. And if you don't see work happening at the South College, where we've pledged to put in $1 million to help in the physical facilities in that college, I want you to fact check me. And talking about that, there's a whole program, a nursing retention program, because suddenly the government gets blamed for nurses leaving St. Lucia. Suddenly, it's a government's problem. All in a sudden, Barbados had to import nurses from Ghana. Suddenly, nurses are leaving, so it's a government problem. It's something caused by our government, that nurses are leaving. So we're going to be working on a nurses retention program to see if we can put a package together in consultation with the officials to see what we can do to keep nurses in St. Lucia. So I nearly said my brothers and sisters. But we have to leave because today is Parliament and the Speaker is there. And the Speaker has a rule. If you're late, he closes the door. So we have to leave. But I really want to tell you that we need to speak the truth on these issues. Because too many things are said in this country which are not true, which are repeated, and repetition becomes truth. And I have put the country on notice that from now, I am going to be defending the work of the government of the St. Lucia Labour Party. And if you want to call it politics, you may call it whatever you want. But I have to defend it because I have to report to them in the year 2026. So all the facts, all the misinformation, all the calumny, all the misinformation that's been spread and repeated, we are now going to begin to debunk it because the people of St. Lucia must hear the truth. So I want to thank you. I want to give special thanks to the ambassador, ask him to convey our thanks and appreciation to the government of Cuba and all the nurses and doctors and all the people who will be working in this facility. I know many people have been longing for that facility to open. I want to thank you on their behalf, and I want to say a special thank you to the Minister of Health. And the Minister is happy. I heard this permanent secretary call him my beloved. Our beloved. I've been in politics for long. Nobody now call me that. But really, the Minister of Health is a very special man. He's a very special man. So, thank you very much, and have a good day.